We take you straight to KwaZulu-Natal, where SADC Ministers are meeting in Durban to advance regional integration and review the implementation of decisions taken at previous summits. The Council of Ministers is also considering key priorities, including economic development, infrastructure, peace and security, and regional cooperation. The meeting comes ahead of the 46th SADC Summit, which South Africa will host in Durban this weekend. For the latest on the ministerial meeting and the key decisions being discussed, we cross live to SABC News International reporter Khayelihle Khumalo in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal for us. A very good morning to you, Khayelihle. Quite a lot of important issues to be discussed, among them regional integration, cooperation, just the big one being industrialization as well, and the need for beneficiation to no longer just be some sort of a buzzword that everybody keeps talking about. It needs to materialize. Just talk us through what has been talked about for now.
Well, certainly, Mfundo, there's quite a number of issues here being discussed by the ministers. We know that it's been preceded by a number of meetings with the senior officials, and obviously all the 16 member states here from SADC well represented. And obviously, I mean, looking at all these issues, when you talk about, for example, the mineral beneficiation, it's all about making sure that these countries are able to benefit immensely from these mineral resources, especially because when you talk about the scramble for these resources, for really just the new energy sources, they're all located here in Southern Africa, whether you're talking about manganese in South Africa, lithium in Zimbabwe. In fact, such a reference was made by South Africa's International Relations and Cooperation Minister, Ronald Lamola. But Mfundo, a very important moment as well for one of the member states here, Zambia. You know that it's quite a very big day for Zambia, and also it is the incoming chair of the SADC. So once South Africa is done, then Lusaka will take over. So quite a very big moment for the Zambians as they'll be voting today. And there has been quite a lot of messages of support for the Zambians to go and vote peacefully. And also we know that President Khayelihle is seeking re-election in Zambia, so a very, very important member of this particular bloc. But apart from that, Mfundo, you touched on the issue of peace and security, quite a very important issue, especially because some of the countries within the bloc, they are facing insecurity. I mean, for example, when you talk about the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's been on the agenda of the SADC Troika for some time, and you saw at some point semi-DRC was deployed in the eastern parts of the DRC. And obviously, what happened was SAMI-DRC has to be pulled out from Congo to let the diplomatic solution to be really crafted by the leaders. We saw that historic summits between the Southern African leaders alongside their counterparts from East Africa, where they said it's about time to ensure that also they combine some of the measures around peace and security. That's a Luanda process and a Nairobi process as well. So it's all about disarmament and ensuring that the eastern parts of the DRC is absolutely stable, and also quite a very important moment as well. And this is Comoros. I mean, a very challenging time for this particular country. For some time it's been facing instability, and we know that right here it won't be represented due to the failure of payment, because obviously if you're part of SADC as a member state, you do have a number of responsibilities you have to pay as well. But for South Africa, an absolutely key milestone, Fundo, leading the agenda, we saw Minister Lamola officially taking over as now the chair of the Council of Ministers. And he spoke at length about South Africa's priorities, Mfundo. You spoke about industrialization, making sure that we do see those jobs. We're right here in Durban, one of the very critical ports in sub-Saharan Africa, when you talk about the ease of movement. But also another very important issue that SADC has raised, Mfundo, will have to be around the protocol around the movement of people. So not all the countries have really signed and ratified it. So you do need about 11 countries to ensure that they've ratified it and really just give it the teeth and be able to ensure that they deal with the issues of irregular migration, a very, very critical issue. And in fact, South Africa has been speaking about this issue. We've seen the crackdown. And in fact, when you talk about Durban, it's been an epicenter of the demonstrations that we have seen.